What's up? It's Lauren Six Wilson. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome back to my channel if it's not. And today we're going to talk about Michelle Williams' first album, Heart to Yours. Let's get into it real quick. Don't ever doubt you'll be a someone. Always go for what you want. Get up and put your purpose on. Get up, feel the sunshine on your face. Believe that you deserve it all. Put in the work and you will end up far. This is my show and tell. So tell me, are you ready to get it on? So tell me, yeah. So tell me, are you ready? So tell me, are you ready for me? So tell me, are you ready? Tell me, are you ready? So, we're going to give some love to Michelle Williams. This is a gospel album, if you didn't know. Gospel artist Michelle Williams released her first solo album on, what record company was this? Columbia. And I believe it's through Music World as well, on April 16, 2002. And the first single, I believe, was Heart to Yours. Not Heart to Yours, Heard a Word. I'm sure Destiny's Child's fans heard that song first on the remix album. This is the remix. So this album includes Heard a Word, Still Away to Jesus, the Destiny's Child medley, and the title track Heart to Yours. It was also promoting the Soul Survivor's autobiography, the Destiny's Child. I was just watching that interview on YouTube. I don't have that book, but I sure would like to get it just to check it out. But at the time that this album was being promoted, that book was being promoted. That's why I love hype stickers. Pretty cool to have the hype stickers on there. Yeah, so much, a mouthful I can say about Michelle Williams and this album. I grew up on this album. I was a baby when this album came out, but I grew up in church, and I definitely remember playing this album if I ever felt scared. If I was having a hard time going to sleep, I would play it. But when I was by myself growing up, and to uplift me, I played it. If I was going through any kind of depression, I would play it. And I just had to rebuy it because it was my sister's copy. My big sister had this album, so I would just use her copy until till her copy came up missing. I don't know what happened to it. But yes, Michelle Williams joined Destiny's Child in the beginning of 2000, and they went on to release albums like Survivor and This Is the Remix, and so many 8 Days of Christmas, so many albums they did, and awesome tours. And I'm a big Destiny's Child fan, so that's why I'm trying to hyper focus on the three of them per se. So the three of them made so many accolades, especially by this time, 2002. I believe they were touring while this album was being promoted or about to go on a tour. So yes, let's get into the first track, Heart to Yours. I love how it starts with the different keys, like and the chords that they're playing. That sounds like a guitar to me in the beginning, but I love the lyrical content. This was a Kay Parker and Dee Washington track, and E. Williams as well as Michelle Williams. She had a hand in writing and co-producing a few songs on here. And she has like a few pictures in here. Like this is a nice shot of her. That looks like something she wore on like a talk show that I just seen. I've always liked this shot. It's a pretty cool shot of her too. But you got Heard a Word, which you guys heard on This Is the Remix album, and the first track coming in. Heard a Word, that's the second track, yes, Heard a Word. And then track 3, you got So Glad with Mary Mary, which is really cool because at this time, Mary Mary was blowing up. They had just kind of hit the scene in a way. They only been like out for like a year and a half. I believe, didn't they come out in like 2000? But Mary Mary is no stranger to these group of girls. So it's pretty cool that she was able to get them on her first album. I love that track, So Glad to Be Here. I love the beat. I love that around this time, artists like Kirk Franklin and many other gospel artists were helping to cross over gospel music into contemporary. I know the Clark sisters had a hand in that, but Kirk Franklin really had a really unique way of doing that as far as his production and his style of gospel. So I would like to think that they carry on with other contemporary gospel artists, if you will. So when you hear tracks that Mary Mary does, or Michelle Williams, is kind of like reminiscent of those things, which I really, really like. And then you have a favorite track of mine. I have a few favorites on here. First of all, let me see. It's 11 tracks on here. So it's not too much, you know what I mean? And it's not too little. It's the perfect amount. If I had to choose some favorites, it would have to be track 4, The Sun Will Shine Again. Sun Will Shine Again. I was just about to talk about that track. Let's see. You Care For Me. I love You Care For Me. And Steal Away. Steal Away because it's traditional and it has Shirley Caesar on it. But track 4, The Sun Will Shine Again, it has a pretty, like, these beats are kind of reminiscent of, like, what do these beats remind me of? It reminds me of like a male R&B album, if you will. So I can tell that she probably had a lot of male producers. Like, if this was a soulful male, I like the beats are very like dominant in a way, if you ask me, but also free at the same time. I really like the way that they arranged the certain beats, like The Sun Will Shine Again. It's like a rim shot, you know, as far as the choice of drums that they chose. And same thing with everything. It has that sound. You can hear the guitar. I really like it really sounds like they're having like a Christian jam out, if you will, because you can hear some of the elements that you would get when you go to places like that, like the guitar. You know, you have of course you have the choir, those elements, the traditional elements, but like this album is more Christian than traditional gospel, if you will. Like, it's not really gonna give you, like, for instance, like the Clark Sisters is very traditional, Donnie McClurkin, like Yolanda Adams' early gospel work. But by this time, again, gospel music had changed. So even Yolanda Adams, her music sounded like some of these tracks that's on this album, like the Mountain High, Valley Low album. So, yeah, what track was that? That was track 4. But track 5, Better Place, that's a pretty cool track. That track is dedicated to the 9/11 victims, because a year before that tragedy struck, and this song penned was dedicated to all of the people that lost someone, to keep them encouraged that, you know, they're in a better place, and, you know, not to worry. And it is an uplifting song, of course, you know, not by a long shot on an inspirational album, but to have a song like that so relevant at this time was pretty big. And I really like that track. It's pretty upbeat, if you will. It kind of gets you out of your seat. It's not one of those ballad tier type songs. Very upbeat, if you will. Now back to my favorite track, Change the World. Change the World, written by H.R. Crump and C. Brown. I really love the lyrics, you know what I mean? In the chorus alone, you have to realize God has a purpose for your life. You don't have to compromise, meaning you don't have to lose anything. I love that. Change the world. Don't let the world change you. That is super uplifting, because time and time again, a lot of us feel like we have to change ourselves or take away from ourselves to be accepted, you know, and you don't have to. You really don't have to. You have to come as you are, because that's what the Bible talks about, and that's what I grew up on, and let everything, you know, let God, you know, do what he does when you come as you are. So I really like the lyrical content of that hook. It's just right at you. That's the first thing that plays when the song comes in, is the hook with those lyrics. So it kind of grabs you just like that. Excuse me, guys. It grabs you just like that with those lyrics. You know, you have to realize God has a purpose for your life. You have purpose for your life. There's a reason why you're here. And you don't have to diminish yourself at all. So that's what I really love about this song, and the harmonies, of course. Again, with y'all know I love harmonies and layers. So that's why I love The Sun Will Shine Again. So the harmonies and the layer choices on that track during the hook, I love. So get into that. Track 4, The Sun Will Shine Again, and going forward to track 6, Change the World. So Change the World have those same elements of the harmonies and the layers, along with great lyrical content, great production, and a beautiful vocalist singing lead, right? So track 7, Everything. I know that I just saw the performance on the Ananda Lewis talk show. I went to YouTube Michelle Williams in 2002 and see what would come up, and her Ananda Lewis appearance popped up. They used to come on the WB. That's what I read. So I don't know if anybody remembers the Ananda Lewis show. I absolutely remember Ananda Lewis, period. She's a staple in Black MTV culture. So to see Michelle Williams on that show, and I just watched Brandy's Ananda Lewis interview too, when she had a baby shower. Ananda Lewis threw her baby shower. It's pretty cool. But yeah, she performed everything after being interviewed by the Miss Ananda, and it was amazing. She sung the song exactly like the track. She didn't really like try to do anything like too different. You know how artists they just go for it, they just free fly, or they change the arrangement. Like, it's good to hear the artist sing it exactly how they recorded it, and she absolutely did that. So check out that performance. Everything. So it's good to rearrange and switch it up, don't get me wrong, but I guess for us hearing it for the first time at that time, for her to sing it just like she recorded it, perfect. You Care For Me, featuring Isaac Carey and Lao Pai of the Men of Standard. I hope I'm saying those names right. And these voices sound familiar. I really feel like I've heard these voices before on a different gospel track. H.R. Crump. And again, I love the harmonies that these guys are doing in the hook. They are singing their butts off and harmonizing their butts off. I love the arrangement choices. So You Care For Me, I love that song. Beautiful song. I love the piano chords that was chosen and the arrangements as well. Now you got track 9 that you can't go wrong with. If there's a track that you must listen to on this album, it has to be Still Away to Jesus, because it includes the Miss Shirley Caesar, gospel royalty. I mean, there's nothing that you can really say. All you have to do is say her name. So to have a track on here with Shirley Caesar is a big deal, and I love it. I love that she can hold her own with the dynamic Shirley Caesar. So check that out if y'all didn't know Michelle Williams had a track with her. After that, you got interestingly enough, Rock With You. I feel like they experimented. I really like how they bridged gospel and rock and, Christian music, if you will. I feel like it sounds like it's different when you go to a Pentecostal church, a culture church, a Baptist church, an evangelist church, and you go to a Christian church. Some of these music, like these tracks and the musical elements, especially a song like this, like Rock With Me, it sounds like a Christian track. Like if I was at a Christian church, I wouldn't be surprised if they sung this or didn't sing at all, or sung this song and had a dude playing the guitar. Pretty cool track. E. Williams and K. Parker, shout out to you guys. Of course, you have the Gospel Medley by Destiny's Child, track 11 on this album, which we all love, which we all first heard on the Survivor album. And you have a bonus track. I believe all copies of this album comes with the bonus track. I'm not sure if there's a copy that doesn't, but the copy my sister did, and this copy does. And the bonus track is Heaven, featuring Carl Thomas. Again, because if this was a Carl Thomas album, all of these beats would fit his style. They would just have to throw in like one R&B up-tempo, I guess. But yeah, that's why I really like these tracks. They're kind of like chill, you know what I mean? They're very chill. And besides Rock With Me, that's probably like the most rambunctious track on here. I hope I'm using the right word, but it really kind of gets you going, gets you up. It's like, okay, all right. And yeah, I believe that's the end of the album. For a gospel album, especially her first gospel album, it's a 10. It's a dime, as Brandy would say. And Conan, you didn't get the joke when Brandy said it again. I rewatched that interview. She said it twice. She said it in 98 and in 2002, and he still didn't get it. He's like, a dime. A dime is a 10. But this album is definitely a 10. And it's pretty cool to see all the websites listed in the back of this album. MichelleWilliamsOnline.com, DCUnplugged.com, MusicWorld.net, ColumbiaRecords.com. Pretty cool. I'm going to go through the archives and see if those websites still work and what they look like. Another beautiful shot of Michelle Williams on the back. Heart to Yours, an amazing, chill, uplifting, refreshing gospel album, Christian record. If you don't have this record, go get it. Michelle is singing so beautifully. Her voice is so pure. I love her voice and her choice of song for this album. I haven't heard her sophomore album, but we ain't gonna talk about her sophomore album because I want y'all to focus on this. I don't want y'all to skip now. I want y'all to get into this if you haven't. And if you have, get back into it. Give Michelle her love, her streams, and go out there and buy the music if you really wanted to buy the physical copies. But guess what? I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm going to give this record another spin and keep hope alive. No, but seriously though, I'll be going live later on TikTok, and I'm going to be watching some more Destiny's Child interviews around this time just to see what was going on with them and see if I can find some more Michelle Williams videos at this time. I just can't get over the pop stickers. Can't. I love them. I love them. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.